My name is Yahawasab, or government name Joseph Robinson. We are from North Carolina and in the United States. And we moved over here to Rwanda. We touched down about, it was August the 19th, August the 20th we touched down. We left the U.S. August the 19th and touched down on the 20th. So, yes, I'm Joseph.
I'm Atara. My government name is Camille. It's my daughter. Same. We left the United States to have a better way of living, you know. So coming to the continent, wanting to connect with a source of where we come from. So that was our decision.
And my Hebrew name is Malika, and my government name is Melissa Robinson. And I'm on the same boat with them. So.
Okay. Wow. So why Rwanda?
It won out between the vote between Tanzania and Ghana, and doing the research, kind of like honing in on what was better for us. Ghana was more of a younger atmosphere, not quite the party life, you know, we don't really do that type of nightclubs and stuff. Tanzania, it's beautiful, cost of living was
Very
good.
beautiful, very beautiful.
Bribery and security were a concern, so we learned things about Rwanda that made us say, okay, security, 100%. Crime, they're like locking down on that. So I was like, yeah, I'm in agreement. Rwanda is at the top of our list. So
in addition to that, Rwanda was the only country that allowed basically ease of opening a business. There's a lot of loopholes, or not loopholes, red tape you have to go through in order to open up a business in Ghana and Tanzania, whereas
it seemed easier here.
It seemed easier here in Rwanda.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I moved my family here, like she said, it was because security, number one for me was security, because the two of them, they rely on me to keep them safe. So security was number one. The lack of corruption, I like that. We were told, we saw in videos, I should say, that over in, like for instance, well, I'm not going to mention any countries.
Yeah, let's not do that.
over in certain countries here on the continent, you hire someone to do a job, but then you also have to give them money, or give them some bribery to get them to do the job you hired them for, to get the job done in a quicker fashion or sooner. And that was something I could not see myself doing for the long term. So yeah, we found out that Rwanda, they don't believe in that corruption. They don't like that type of corruption. So yeah.
They take it seriously if you are caught doing it. So.
Yeah.
They don't want to repeat any past decisions or bad decisions, so they crack down on it. It's like never again. It's not just with that, but with other things too. So
it's all about improvement.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other countries aren't trying to improve. Just looking at all of the ones that we tried to look at moving to, Rwanda just fits better.
Wow. Okay. Yes, you came to Rwanda, but before coming to Rwanda, what happened to you, whereby you decided to relocate to Africa? What was the reason of just coming to Africa?
Well, about 2015, I was, I don't know, I started to just be concerned about who am I, where did I come from? I mean, we grow up hearing that we come from Africa, so that we know. But I wanted to know more about who I am as a man, So I started doing research. I did research on my name, my last name, Robinson. It's a Scandinavian name. Obviously, I'm not Scandinavian. So I just did some digging. And we found out that we were the people, Bantu people, that we are descendants from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the Bible. They're our forefathers by blood. So, although we didn't know what continent although we didn't know what country we came from, we know that we are from Africa. We know that whenever you read the Bible, the places that you read about in the Bible are here on the continent. That we know. So we wanted to come back to try to get as close as we could to our roots. That was one of the reasons that motivated me to move my family back.
Same. We lived in a country ruled by people that did not look like us, did not consider us, saw us as expendable, something to be used. And you have an option to go somewhere where people look like you, where it's the continent your ancestors came from. Why would you not make the choice to leave a place where you're obviously not wanted or appreciated and go somewhere to try and set up a better way of living? Just even the possibility was enough to say, okay, you don't have to do this. If you're at someone's house and they're mistreating you, you don't stay. You leave. So, with us.
Wow. Okay. So when you decided to relocate to Africa, what was your friends telling you about Africa?
I'll start with that. Not so much as friends, but just where I worked, my customers. When I tell them that I'm moving to Africa, and when you see me, I'm not going to be here, and there's some big changes are going to happen, and oh dang, I messed up. When you see me, I'm not going to be here. My bad. When you come in is what I meant to say. When you come in, I'm not going to be here, and there's going to be changes is what I meant to say. And this is the reason why I'm moving to Africa. And the first thing people say, oh, what part? And I say Rwanda, and they're like, is that where, you're moving there? Aren't they killing people there? And it's like, no, that happened a long time ago. And then even during that time, South Africa was having its issues too. I was like, we're going to be far from South Africa. So a lot of people are like, why are you moving to Africa? And I tell them it's just a better way of life, just a new chapter. There's a whole world out there, and all I've known was America. All I've ever known for the most part of my life was North Carolina. And so it's an opportunity to go and explore and go beyond what I know, go beyond what I was taught in schools and taught by media and etc.
So and then you came to Rwanda in August. Now we're in October. So how is Rwanda treating you?
Rwanda is still good. Maybe I'm wearing rose-colored glasses, but everything is still wonderful. People are so friendly. People are so kind. The scenery is so beautiful. I'm learning more here in Rwanda every day. I have not had an experience that make me go, okay, maybe we should have rethought that.
Right.
I have not run into that. If I had known it was going to be this amazing, I would have considered coming sooner. And I was one of those people earlier in my life before I learned that would think, okay, well, I don't know, Africa, I can't get Walmart in Africa, but those are the things that you don't want. I'm glad to be here. So I am learning. There are some things to adjust to, shipping, customs custom cost of bringing things in, that's high. That's really high. It just makes you re-examine, do you really want that thing that you're about to bring here? So
You talked about doing business in Rwanda, and most of the time the Rwanda advertise that it's very easy doing business. They make it easy for investors. So how have you seen it?
we're still in the beginning processes. So we've just gotten, we have to go and pick up the TIN number. That process, there are people here. I think the most difficult thing about it is we're coming in not knowing the formula. We don't know the format. We're unfamiliar with the language, the procedure. So we did have to get someone to help us, and them helping us, it flew by really quickly. So but if we were more familiar, then I don't think it would be as difficult. But I think the difficulty is only because it's unfamiliar. But once it happened, it was very quickly.
Anywhere you go, do that.
Oh yeah, anywhere.
I say that in the States, you're applying for an EIN number that can, depending upon if you expedite it, it can, your wait time is not long at all. But if you just do it for free, or even if you hire a company to do it, it's going to take some time. I'd say
it wouldn't have been as quick.
It wouldn't. Yes, I'd say applying for the TIN. That day, maybe we got approved, or there was some issues with our documentation, so we had to rescind passport photos.
Passport photos were blurry.
Yeah, the passport photos. But shortly after that, it was quick.
The next day.
Yeah, the very next day we got.
That is true.
So
They
$20.
give you a business license really quickly.
$20.
The thing is, there's so many opportunities here in Rwanda where you see there's a lack or a need of something. We want to supply, we want to, fulfill that need. Is how to. We have the idea. It's just actually applying the how to. Like, we have an idea. We have several ideas to do, like whole body care, hair oil, hair products, body products. And then my mom, she has a hobby of dolls. She likes to create things with, create doll houses and furniture and stuff like that. And that could be beneficial here for kids or whoever is into.
Okay, so what can you tell someone who is there, still confused about Africa? They are still telling him or her, don't go to Africa, you go this and this. So what can you tell them?
I'll go first.
You can go.
Anytime we take anybody else's understanding and try and model our life off of what they know, we're already messing up. So if you're going to judge Africa, if you're going to determine for yourself whether you should come, you need to research for yourself. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to somebody who's not been here. Take your time, research the countries, and come visit. Come visit. You can't judge a place until you've actually experienced it. But no, people aren't living in huts. I haven't seen a baby with a bone in their nose. I haven't seen none of the things that people say that you're going to experience in Africa. It's not poor, it's rich. Africa is richer than the United States. That's because the United States is defining what rich is. Africa has the resources. Africa has the minerals, the people, the agriculture. It's all here. You need money to buy those things. It's here. Africa is very rich. The people are very kind. No, I haven't run into somebody who hates African Americans. Everybody has been helpful, kind, considerate, supportive. You gotta come for yourself. Don't listen to lies. Find out for yourself.
I would say, just visit. If you're unsure about making a move here, just visit for yourself and see with your own eyes. And experience for yourself the people, the culture, the food, the atmosphere, the nature, and really open your eyes as far as how we are all living. There are police officers out there on the street. They actually have armed guns, but I don't feel threatened at all. But in the States, I see a police car or even a police officer walk into the establishment that I once worked at, I get
Anxiety.
I get anxiety. I get like, what you doing in here? There's no trouble. That's my first thought, that there's trouble when I see a white officer coming in. But they're black officers out on the street. And you just greet them, and they're cool. There's no threat or anything. No anxiety. You can walk down neighborhoods, good wealthy neighborhoods, or just beautiful neighborhoods here, and not feel like you're gonna have somebody's gonna call the police on you.
You walking down the street.
Somebody's looking at you with suspicion, like you don't belong here. I've never once felt that here. I never felt that I did not belong here.
Right.
In fact, when we tell Rwandans that this is our home, we get welcome. They're honored, happy, and that makes us feel welcomed. That it's a beautiful thing. Just come and visit for yourself, and also have an open mind and talk to Rwandan people. I mean, I'm a very expressive person, and I like to read people's faces, and so it's kind of hard to see with the mask. When I first thought about Rwandan people, I was like, oh, they're not friendly, because they have all I'm seeing is this, their eyes, and they just look at you. But it's not until you open your mouth and you say Midway or Muraho, they say something back, and so you just have to open up and say hi. Just introduce yourself.
They're curious.
Yeah,
it's out here. We heard about the staring. People. They stare. Yeah, we experienced it. But if you say hi, you realize they're staring because they're curious. And hi, how are you? It's like, that's the response you get. It's not staring out of malice. They're really curious and they want you to speak to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And as soon as you speak to them,
you made a friend for life.
You speak to them. And there you go, your conversation. They ask you, they'll say, well, can I give you my number, or can you take my number? So let's keep in contact. My contact list in my phone has probably doubled just in the about month and a half since I've been here. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So while we're ending, you've been here for 2 months. So the way you have seen it, what's the cost of living here?
Cost of living.
But she wants, let her go have what she wants, and if it's wrong, then it's on her.
You can live very well. I think it's not very expensive, but it depends on how you're living. And I can say that it's the amount of money that you're spending for certain things. So for us, a bulk of our money, not bulk, we see a lot of dollars, a lot of Rwanda francs go out for transportation.
Drivers.
That's because we choose a specific type of driver. We could take there's a moto. I'm not gonna take them. But for who doesn't know, motos and motorcycle, there's a whole lot of them, and you can use them for transportation. Very inexpensive. But I don't want to do that.
We have cabs.
Cabs, less, a little bit more than motos, not very expensive.
We've never taken a cab over here. We actually have our drivers.
Yeah, you can get a driver who can translate for you. They know the area. They can help facilitate business for you. So they can be a middleman when you need help or things like that. They're a little bit more than a driver. So that's the route we go. That's a little bit more than a taxi cab. So that's transportation can get expensive, but you can control it. Just like anything else. Certain things can get expensive, but you can control it. If you want something that's imported, you're going to pay for that. If you want the local Rwanda product, that's great. So it's about what you decide you want. Just know the things that aren't sold locally, you're going to pay for that. So if you downsize your life and live reasonable, But if you can afford to get all the exports and do all that, then you're good too. So you can create, you can customize, that's the best way, you can customize your cost of living. They're really cheap.
Like a box of cereal here is more than double than it is in the United States.
Cereal's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
I stopped eating cereal.
It's about $13 for a box of cereal?
I saw a box of cereal for $25.
And in the U.S., when we left the U.S., you can get a box of cereal, I think less than $5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But over here it's $13.
It's important.
So that's more than double.
But that also is it's a blessing too
Yeah.
because fruits and vegetables are really cheap here. So in the
Yes.
States, everything's kind of backwards.
Yeah.
Whereas the processed foods are extremely cheap, and the organic, raw
Healthy
food,
foods.
healthy foods, they're more expensive.
Right.
It's expensive to eat healthier in the States than it is here.
Exactly.
It's very inexpensive to eat healthy here, but you know, like those treats, those sweets, the cereal, the candy,
The stuff that's not good for
stuff
you.
is not good for you. It is a luxury. It's
More expensive
It's
here.
more expensive. Which, you know, if you're,
Which is good.
It's good. If you're living on a budget, you plan accordingly, and if you can afford it, go for it. If not, you know.
Avocados, mangoes, they all grow on the trees. You can walk down the street and pick an avocado. In the States, an avocado is going to be this small. Maybe you're going to get one for $1 something. Here, 10, 20 cents for a huge avocado. So yeah.
That's one of
Yeah, you go ahead.
that's what I was going to say. One of the things I love about Rwanda is that there's food everywhere.
Everywhere.
Natural food everywhere. I mean, in the States, you would have to go to a nursery to buy an apple tree, or go to, you know, a nursery or a Home Depot if they have fruit trees there. You have to go
And
to
it's
the
not even going to
store.
be real fruit.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, GMO.
You have to go and buy those trees in order to plant raw, you know, natural ingredients in your yard. But here, you buy a plot or a piece of land that actually has banana trees, citrus trees, avocado. It's there. It's there.
There's one thing I like about this land. The land itself just feeds people. You know, the land just feeds you. So the lies that we're told in the West about the people over in Africa are starving. No. No. How can you starve when you walk and there's banana trees that just grow? They just come up out of the ground. We're not talking about people going out and planting, farming them. You can just go out and just walk and just see banana trees. There's bananas hanging on me. What do you mean people are starving? Come on.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.